The voice that shouldn't exist, the golden sunlight, spilled over Willow Creek Park, drenching the swings, slides, and monkey bars in a warm glow. It was supposed to be a quiet Saturday morning, a rare day off for Victoria Hayes, CEO of the fastest growing tech firm in San Francisco. But there she was, sitting stiffly on a wooden bench, her tailored blazer replaced by a soft beige sweater, her hair down for once. Beside her, her 6-year-old daughter, Emily, sat in silence, holding a worn, stuffed bunny. Emily had been mute for 2 years, not a sound, not a whisper. The doctors said it was selective mutism, born out of trauma, though Victoria never spoke about what had happened that night in Chicago. The night her world fell apart. She had brought Emily here hoping, praying that the fresh air, the laughter of other children, might coax her into making a sound. But Emily only sat, staring at the ground, rocking slightly. Then Victoria froze. A man's voice rang out across the playground, deep, warm, inviting. "Hey there, kiddo, you wanna try the slide?" Victoria's eyes darted toward the voice. A tall man stood a few feet away, dressed in a navy hoodie and jeans, his hands resting on his knees as he crouched to meet Emily's gaze. His little boy, about the same age, was tugging on his sleeve, grinning. Something in the man's voice made Emily look up. Her lips parted slightly, as though she might, and then it happened. Emily whispered, so softly Victoria thought she'd imagined it. "Hi." Her heart stopped. 2 years of silence. 2 years of doctors, therapists, and desperate nights. And now, in one heartbeat, a complete stranger had broken the wall. Victoria stood so abruptly, the bench scraped against the ground. Her pulse hammered in her ears. "How did you?" she started, her voice shaking. The man straightened, surprised. "I didn't. I just said hello." But Victoria's mind wasn't listening. She was locked in a different thought. One that made her throat tighten with panic, because she knew that voice. She knew it from the worst night of her life. Hook CTA. Before I tell you what Victoria remembered, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to The Soul Narrative for more heart-gripping stories that you'll never forget. Her breathing quickened. The man Daniel Cross was watching her carefully now, as though sensing her unease. His boy Liam darted off toward the swings, leaving the three of them in a tense triangle. Victoria's hands clenched into fists. Where are you from?" she asked. Daniel tilted his head. "Here. Well, mostly. I moved back recently." She swallowed hard. That voice. The way it had cut through the chaos in Chicago that night, yelling something she could barely remember over the sound of breaking glass and Emily's terrified sobs. But how could it be him? Why here? Why now? Emily tugged on her sleeve, whispering again, "Mommy, can I play?" It was the first time Victoria had heard her daughter initiate a request in years. The sweetness of the moment clashed violently with the cold dread crawling up her spine. Daniel smiled softly. "Go ahead. Liam will show you the slide." Victoria watched as her little girl ran off with the boy, her laughter, actual laughter, floating on the wind. The sound made her eyes sting, but she couldn't shake the feeling that she was letting Emily walk straight into danger. She forced herself to sit, her voice low. "You knew her before today, didn't you?" Daniel's brows knit together. "No, why would you think that?" She leaned in, her whisper harsh. "Because I've heard your voice before. The night my daughter stopped talking. You were there." Daniel went pale. His eyes darted toward Emily, then back to Victoria. "We should talk, but not here." Her heart skipped. "So I'm right." He didn't answer, just looked at her with something between regret and resolve. The truth in the shadows. They met later that evening in a small coffee shop on the quieter side of town. Emily was with her grandmother, unaware of the storm building around her. Victoria sat stiffly across from Daniel, her coffee untouched. "Start talking." Daniel's fingers traced the rim of his cup. 2 years ago, Chicago, apartment complex on West Holloway Street. Her pulse spiked. "Yes, I was there because..." He hesitated, eyes darkening. "I was undercover." Victoria blinked. "Undercover, as in police?" He nodded. "I was working with the organized crime division. We were tracking a trafficking ring operating out of your building. The night it happened, we got a tip they were moving children out. I got in through the fire escape, but by the time I found you and Emily, they'd already broken in." Her stomach churned at the memory, the masked men, the shouting, the sound of Emily screaming until she didn't. Daniel's voice dropped. I tried to get you both out, but he swallowed. I was compromised. They spotted me. I fought them off, but I couldn't stop everything that happened before backup arrived. Tears blurred her vision. You disappeared. I thought you were part of it. I wasn't. His voice cracked. I swore to myself if I ever saw Emily again, I'd make sure she knew she was safe. Her breath trembled, and somehow, just talking to her today, it wasn't just talking. He leaned forward. Trauma builds walls. Sometimes it takes the right sound, the right memory, to knock one down. She remembered my voice from that night, not as a threat, but as the one that told her, "You're safe now." Victoria's tears spilled freely. You saved her. I wish I'd saved her from everything, he whispered. Silence hung between them, heavy and raw. For the first time in 2 years, Victoria felt the crushing weight of suspicion lift from her chest. When she finally spoke, her voice was steady. If you're telling the truth, you deserve more than thanks. You deserve justice for her. Daniel's eyes softened, and for the others we didn't get to in time. From that night forward, Daniel became more than just a stranger at a playground. He became the man who coaxed her daughter's voice back, the one who stood between them and the shadows still lurking in their past. And for Emily, he was the first friend who made her believe she could laugh again. NCTA, if this story moved you, if it reminded you of the power of kindness and the courage to face the past, please like this video and subscribe to The Soul Narrative. Stories like this deserve to be heard.